Leos. We are on to the month of May, and I'm really sorry about how long it took me to get this all out for you, but I'm finally officially coming out with May. We have a lot going on in May, and I really want to get started because I'm talking a lot because this Gemini energy is just flowing into me, and so it's making me chatty Cathy, and these are going to be long videos, and I'm sorry. Just means you get to look at me longer, right? Yeah, or you're like, I don't care to look at you longer. Anyhow, so May 1st, Mercury enters Gemini. Now, Gemini energy for a Leo is awesome. Awesome. These two guys, like Leo and Gemini energy, are like bread and butter. They just go together. They rock each other's energy. So you're just going to feel fantastic. As if it's not enough, you have all this Jupiter energy just filling you with power and confidence and making you extra flashy and making you really attractive and just creating opportunity and more expansion than you know what to do with right now as a Leo. And you have Mercury moving into Gemini, making conversations with people just rock. Like, you're going to find that this energy is like the best energy that you've had in a long time. Like, you're just going to sit down and you're just going to be the life of the party. You're just going to be the center of attention because of just your conversation, let alone Jupiter rocking your life. You know, like, it's just going to be wonderful. Then on May 11th, Mars enters Gemini. What do I want to say about this energy to a Leo? Now, first, you're a fierce cat. Okay, right now, you're not a kitty cat anymore. You're not waiting for mom to come home and bring you your milk. You are a fierce lion out there taking on the world. The planet of passion, the planet of doing, of getting things done, the warrior planet. This is the planet that just goes 100 miles an hour, is moving into Gemini. It is igniting all of this fiery, spontaneous, just, you know, adaptable energy times 10 right now. And it's just making you light on fire. It's making you want to get out there and do more than you've ever wanted to do. I mean, Jupiter's in here expanding you, right, as a Leo. And then Mars is going in here and is just making you explode with enthusiasm about doing things and getting things done and taking your life in a different direction, creating opportunity for yourself through you know, intermixing with people and just having a wonderful time. Then on the 18th, Mercury goes retrograde, and it's like, yay! It's going to be like, ah. It's just going to be that kind of energy that you're just going to be like, really? Because I really want to go for it. And you want to be a fierce cat right now. You want to play. You are feisty. You are full of energy. And you don't want to just sit around and just be a little kitty cat waiting for your lesson. Not so much. Not this fierce kitty. This cat wants to rear and roar and be itself, right? Here's where I'm concerned. When, on May 11th, when Mars goes into Gemini, yes, that's great energy. Yes, that's fantastic for getting things done. Yes, you can have, opportunity gets created through conversations with others. Yes, this is all in this energy. What is else in this energy is combativeness. You're a fierce cat right now. You're kind of full of yourself. You're kind of feeling great. So you're going to think, how dare people come up with opposition against some of these fantastic ideas that you have that can just generate just so much out of your life. You're going to be mad that people want to poop on your parade because guess what? People are in a bad mood. People are combative. They're debatable right now. They are being opposed in every possible angle. And so, and this is starting on May 3rd. You're not going to get very long for feel-good energy before you start coming up against people's reality checks. It's going to be based on ego. So for you, a lot of the energy for you is going to be in your 10th and 11th house. And there's going to be some 12th house work that you have to do. And everybody's going to have to do this month. But for you, your 10th house is in charge of your career sector, your purpose in the world. And as you know, as a Leo, and I felt this as a Leo too, with my Leo, the little bit of Leo energy that I have in me. I mean, I do have significant Leo placements other than in my sun. I'm a baby key cat in my sun, but I'm like, because of my degrees are very low, it's like 1.38 or I can't remember. But then in other placements, I have very, very powerful Leo placements because I have Mars in Leo. So anytime that Mars is in Leo, for those of you that have Mars in Leo, you're going to be a nutcase. You're going to be fired up. If somebody crosses you, you're going to F them up by words. You're going to use words as weapons. Your ego is going to start to get a little bit full of itself, and you're going to have to mind that others have feelings too. That if somebody hurts your kitty cat feelings, you can't just roar and attack that person. That you've got to think things through. And so I think that this is where you're going to be working at this month. You're going to have a feeling of restlessness this month. A feeling like there's so much to do and so many ideas and so many different ways that you can be expanded, and you don't know which way, which energy source to plunk your focus into. The hardest thing for me with a Gemini rising is to know what to give 100% to. So I have a prominent Gemini energy in me. So when Gemini is ignited, I know what it's like to feel like I have a zillion ideas. Which one is the one that I actually pursue? You will struggle with this question this month. You will struggle a lot with it because April was a big month where you planted a lot of seeds, and you need to tend to your garden now. But where the hell did you plant all those seeds? I forgot. I planted a bunch of seeds over there, and then I planted some seeds over there because I was a fierce lion with Jupiter, being Jupiter influenced. And so I expanded my garden in all kinds of directions, but I don't remember where I actually put my seeds. Because I was too busy planting seeds. It was too fun as a kitty, you know? We want to go out there and just, you know, enjoy the good part of it, but we don't actually want to do the work about tending the garden. We don't leave that up to our servants, really. But we need to not. We're humbled, remember? We don't have time for that anymore. So, I want to talk about the month because I'm getting a little full of myself because Gemini energy is so crazy to like harness and keep it going in the right direction. You will find this out. It's not just me in these videos, just because I'm tapping into them. So, on May 3rd, we have a full moon in Scorpio. Now, for you, this is going to be in your 11th house. Now, I want to say that for you lions out there, when Scorpio is influencing your 11th house in Leo, and we've got Jupiter in this mix, that could ignite some passion for you. That could ignite, you could have a crazy one-night stand with a friend from your past. And this could be somebody that just called you up out of the blue and just, you got to talking again and the energy just felt good and you're feeling romantic because you have Scorpio, you know, stirring the pot, because when Scorpio energy and Leo energy get together, there is a hotness to that energy. There is a intensity in you, and it gets down to the deepest parts of a lion. And it's why Leos often partner with Scorpios because they match each other's energy and they get caught up in the highest vibrations. But I mean, they don't exactly go very low in the vibration, but they do go very high in the vibration. So sometimes it makes these partnerships not work out long term, but it makes them ignite very quickly and, you know, very passionately. And so it could be something to do with that. It could be something to do with a Leo heart. Your heart is in something, and it's much more passionate. There could be a friend that you've been looking at from afar or maybe a friend that's been looking at you from afar that decides to come back from your past and just ignites a bunch of old feelings, a bunch of old intense feelings. But here's the clincher. This full moon is met with opposition, a lot of opposition. And I want you to pay attention to one of these energy sources within this opposition. And that is Neptune in Pisces is squaring Saturn in Sagittarius. Now, Mercury and Mars is also squaring Saturn in Sagittarius. So for me, maybe this past friendship isn't such a great idea. For me, I'm looking at this energy and I'm seeing that you're fantasizing it a bit. You're remembering the good, but you forget why you weren't friends with that person in the first place, you know? So yeah, you have a passionate night, or maybe you have a passionate conversation, or maybe you have a conversation with them and they just make you think about the old days. But guess what? The old days wasn't so great with this person. And you are sugarcoating it in your head, and the universe isn't going to allow that to happen. There's an interaction that has to do with friendship that it wasn't as rosy as it was appearing to be at the time that you're remembering this. And you're going to, and if you go down this road, you're going to be met with fierce opposition from the universe. I strongly oppose starting anything new this month as far as in the house of romance for you. I think you should just focus your energies on other things right now, which is some soul growth, which is in your 10th house. You've got some work to do in your career purpose. There's a lot of energy that's been stirring. You have a lot of seeds to tend to. You can't get caught up in some silliness like, you know, try and start things anew from past relationships that have failed. Okay, don't do that. So then on the 7th, Venus enters into Cancer. And this is a beautiful placement. This is home and family. This is being accentuated with you. And that's the heart of a lion. Lions love their home and family. And so you're going to reminisce about the better days of when your family looked ideal. You're going to just be attractive. But you're going to be a sensitive cat. You're not going to be a self-oriented, me type of energy like you can sometimes be, well, a lot of times be. This is good. I don't know, maybe this Scorpio moon stirred up the passionate cat in you. You know, stirred those juices in you to make you want more in a more meaningful way than just pursuing your dreams and having it be all about you and the attention you're getting. It's something deeply personal within you. Then on the 14th and 15th, we have a very intense day of opposition that I want to talk about. Now, Mars and the Sun and Pisces are all going to be opposing, Mars, the Sun, and Neptune are all going to be opposing Saturn. Now, when this happens, to me, this suggests that you have an ego type issue that needs to be looked at from your past. You also sugarcoated the situation and made, when you reminisce back on the past, you make this sound like a better opportunity than it was, but it's really honestly not a really good opportunity. And if you're really honestly real with yourself and with Saturn's teachings, then it's not as good as it once was. And Not to mention that Mars is in here making you extra confrontational. This is when a Leo's heart is hurting, when a Leo is not in a good place, it lashes out with almost like an immature, look at me, if I don't get what I want, I'm going to stomp my feet and throw a big tantrum. Now you get over these tantrums really fast, but the rest of the world doesn't. The rest of the world holds on to anger. The rest of the world gets really mad when people bite their heads off and then act like nothing is going on. They don't freaking like that. You know, it's not okay that you threw a tantrum and, you know, were all into your ego at the time and not thinking of others when you did this. I know you're going through stuff. Everybody is going through stuff on the 14th and the 15th. That doesn't give you an excuse to act like others don't matter when you throw your tantrum. It could mean that somebody throws a tantrum with you and you are fierce with them and say, you know what, you don't get to treat me like that. You know I'm easygoing most of the time and pretty much I let things go, but guess what? You don't get to rock my world. This is me you're talking about. You don't get to do that anymore. Because you went through your Pluto-Uranus squares. You've earned these rights to take stands against people. And maybe it's going to be met with opposition. Maybe, maybe somebody's not going to like that you're not easygoing kitty cat. So what? This month is about this. It's about figuring all this stuff out. Then on the 17th, we have a new moon in Taurus. Now, this new moon in Taurus, I would say normally is a wonderful energy. For you, it would be wonderful because it's in your 10th house. And so a new moon in your 10th house in Taurus energy means that things that you value, things that you want to possess, normally, if this was aspected well, would generate much success in your career purpose and in your life purpose. However, this is met with fierce opposition. There is energies at play that are putting a damper on this, could be beautiful full moon. So there's a yod that forms that I was talking about on my Facebook page on those daily reports that I was talking about at the beginning of this video. And that yod, the top of the yod is in Pluto. So a yod forms like this, like it's a teepee. Looks like a really long teepee. And then there's like, I finally figured out how to do it right. It looks kind of like this. So this side is a quincunx and this side is a quincunx. And down here, this little part is what's called a sextile. And sextile is harmonious energy. It's like a door right down here. These sides are oppositions. They're strong. They're the longest parts of your yod. They're fierce oppositions. From here to here is an opposition, and from here to here is an opposition. And they're like this, right? Here's your harmonious energy. Well, the top of the yod, the top of your teepee in this yod, is Pluto. What is Pluto? Pluto is dark energy. It's latent issues. It's secrets. It's everything you want to hide. It's where oppression lies. It's where depression lies. It's where poor coping skills lie. It's where obsessions lie. It's where perversion lies. It's where dark thinking lies. And it's at the top of this yod. And at the bottom of the yod is the most beneficial energy of that, and that's Jupiter in Leo. So this is Jupiter in Leo in your sign, good. I like to call Jupiter down here in Leo good. And at the top of your yod is Pluto, and that's evil. So good versus evil are having their struggle. These are fierce. These are big, big energies fighting each other. And then you've got Mercury over here in Gemini, and Pluto's opposing Mercury in Gemini, as we've well known throughout this whole month. And so when this happens, conversations don't go well. It's about internal work. It's about looking at your insights and figuring out what you're doing wrong, what latent issues are holding you back, what problems that you have on a psychological level, at your deepest, darkest, dark psychological level that you need to resolve, and you need to resolve now. I noticed this energy, this yod coming up in these same energies in April. And then I looked throughout all of May, and I noticed that the question is looming through May. There's a question. So the way that I look at yods is there's a question. The harmonious energy at the bottom of the teepee is the door into this room. There's a secret room within your psychological processes right now. In the deepest, darkest room is where you throw all of your psychological issues, all of your latent issues. Every suppressed thought you have hangs out in this closet. And here's the door, the sextile at the bottom. You've got to work between Jupiter and Mercury in Gemini, and you've got to hone down the energy in Mercury. And I think it's going to be through research and it's going to be through learning. It's going to be about learning about your psychological issues and facing them, journaling them, writing them down, doing some research on the internet. It's going to be a private process. It's going to be quiet. It's not going to be through conversations. People will not be able to help you through your yod. You will help you through your yod. I think you'll get some ideas on May 18th because it's going to be in your 11th house from people. They're going to show you a key piece to your puzzle of your yod. Friends are going to say something or maybe trigger something within you that causes you to reflect and look at this yod and know the answer to the question. I definitely believe that in my heart and soul. But you've got to figure out this yod because it's going to go on all the rest of the month, and it's an issue that you need to address. From the 21st to the 31st of the month is when all hell breaks loose. There is mass opposition in Gemini. Gemini is going to get hammered. So normally what would be a wonderful month for you is going to be a scattered month full of the lowest vibration of Gemini. For you, I am sorry to say this is going to be a difficult month. I mean, the end of the month is going to be difficult because it is in some of the hardest parts of your ego. You identify yourself with how people see you, with how you present yourself, with how successful you are. This is what generates your ego. If you get enough attention, if you get enough affirmation from people, you must be rocking the world, right? If you have a lot of friends, if you have if your hopes, your dreams, and your wishes are going all in the right direction, then life is good for you. It just is. It's wonderful for you. But all of those days are met with extreme opposition. So none of those things are going to be going your way. Friendships may be under fire. Maybe they're picking a side. Maybe there was a relationship that dissolved and you've been married for a long time and you had a lot of friends that were both of your partners. And so what you might find is that they're picking sides and they're going against you, even though you know that the person that you were with was the problem. Even though you know you weren't the person who caused the end of the relationship. They are talking a better game than you. And they're deceiving people. They're telling lies. They're creating illusion like they were the good guys and you were the bad guy. And that's going to piss you off because you weren't. You know what? And you're going to be a fierce kitty. Your lion is going to come out and you're going to have an inner roar like nobody's business. Think about Katy Perry in that song where she's like, roar. Like you're just going to be pissed because that's not what happened. And you're going to want those friends on your side. It's important that they remain loyal to you and your side of the issue. Don't fight these battles this month. This is not the time for you to take these stands with your friends and make this battle a productive battle. It won't end well for you. There's no reason to do this right now during this month. This is a month of internal quiet. This is a month of being quiet. This is a month where you look at everything and you just abstain from communicating about it. If you possibly can, if you can't get away from it, let things go down where they may. Let the chips fall. The truth will come out. If there's deception on the other person's part, believe me, they are under their own yacht. They are having Neptune in Pisces square off with Saturn. Illusion won't win. It won't win. It may win for a little while, but believe me, Neptune is in opposition with Saturn a lot lately. All the rose-colored glasses are coming off from everybody's situation. Don't you worry about maintaining what goes on with your friends or your reputation at work if somebody's trying to nail your reputation at work, or if somebody's saying spreading lies and rumors about you. Don't get caught up in it. Don't. It'll all be revealed later, and you will come out victorious if you choose the high road in this energy. If you do your research, if you stay calm, if you protect yourself as much as possible, if you use the earth energy in Pluto, because Pluto's in Capricorn, use the earth energy. One thing that I find about Capricorn energy, and this isn't going to make Capricorns happy, but I don't really say everything that makes everybody happy. Capricorns are fierce in business, and they're fierce with their reputation and social status. So if somebody tries to ruin something, they will pull out a knife and stab that person in the back faster than you can say boo. I have seen it happen. I have worked with so many Capricorn bosses that have lied, flat lied to keep their position. So don't you worry about what's going to go down, because Capricorn is at the top of your yacht, the energy, and Pluto. So whatever happens is there to have, whatever happens, just know that the energy will create a strong foundation and will create progression in the areas it needs to, and it will dissolve the areas that it doesn't. Those friendships, if they dissolve after this, so sorry. If past friends come back into your life that were, back then, it's not a time for understanding totally everything. So I wouldn't act on any brand new relationships right now, because much is to be revealed to you about how you look at relationships, about how you passionately go after things, about how you find inner peace in relationships, how you maintain your ego, how you identify yourself through people, and you don't maintain your own ego. There's a lot that's going to go down this month, and it's going to be in that yacht. The yacht I'm talking about from the 21st until like the 31st, it's in every bad day that we had. So all the days that are full of opposition, the 22nd, the 25th, the 27th, the 29th, and the 31st. These are days of extreme opposition, and Pluto's a big player, Saturn's a big player in these energies, and Neptune. They're all squaring off with all kinds, like, just to give you an idea about the energies that are going to be going on the 25th, Venus in Cancer is going to oppose Uranus is going to square Uranus in Aries, and it's going to square Pluto in Capricorn. And then the Sun, Mars are going to oppose Saturn, and then the Moon in Scorpio is going to oppose the Sun, Mars, and Mercury. All aspects of your life are going to be met with opposition. What do I want to say about opposition? Opposition is what we need to do to manifest change in our lives. It is through opposition that we become the strongest forms of ourselves. You are going to be met with opposition this month. You are going to have some sort of delusion, or you are going to have some sort of idealistic thinking that was not correct. And your ego is going to have to be open to knowing that you were wrong about something. And that's okay. We're wrong all the time. Leos like to imagine the best case scenario because they want to feel good all the time. You want to feel good all the time. You want to party, you want to go forward, you want to just rock a day because you want to make the best day every day. But you know what? That's not the reality of the situation. The 21st, when Venus opposes Pluto, it's going to be in your 12th house. That's the house, that's your karmic house. Your 12th house is where all of your deepest latent issues are. It's where you sweep everything. It's your karmic debt house. So I encourage you to, when this all starts to go down, you're going to want to digress into yourself. And I encourage that. There's a yawn that needs to be figured out, and you're only going to do that by facing some of your inner demons, some of your limitations, some of the not so good things about being a Leo. Jupiter is going to expand that issue, but it's once you figure out this issue, Jupiter is going to open the door, and Mercury and Gemini is going to be on one side of this sextile, and Jupiter and Leo are going to be on the other side, and it's going to be just plentiful gifts of higher learning, of communication, of maybe some short distance travel that could be in there. It could be the heart of the lion gets ignited and you just get to break free, but you've got to figure out your yod first. You got to. Oh, this month is just draining talking about it. You want to live it right now. If you are interested in finding a way to optimize all this energy that's going to go down, even these highly oppositional days, the days where it's going to be difficult to find anything good about these days, I like to concentrate on energy that is just light and positive. And I try to find a way to get through these days. And on my Facebook energy reading and / horoscope, I like to guide you through energy. I like to tell you where it's at. I like to tell you how to find the highest vibration of the energy, and I like to push you through. And I really hope that some of you just take a look at me on Facebook. You don't have to be my friend. You can just partake from afar all of the words of wisdom. I'm not an amazing writer, but I speak better when I write than when I actually speak. And I feel more secure actually when I write things out, even though I'm not a great writer. I just feel more secure delivering messages through writing. And the one thing about Mercury in retrograde energy is that it's a great time to be a writer. So I think I'm going to be much more effective than making videos in the month of May through my Facebook energy readings. So, dear Lions, I hope you have a fabulous month. Make the most of the energy. Just take it for what it is. It's a teaching energy month. It's going to teach you how to be a better lion. It's going to teach you how to get what you want. It's going to teach you how to just manifest the best parts of yourself. And you're going to figure out a yod. You're going to figure out a big question. You're going to be a detective this month. And it's going to be, you can look at this as it's going to be fun. And maybe you get your butt kicked and maybe some friends maybe throw you for a loop a little bit, but that's okay. You can make it through it, and then you're on to the next month because that's the way you are. You're just on to the next month and the next energy light source. Have a wonderful May.